Hello everyone, and welcome back to more Xenoblade Chronicles X. Today, it's finally time for Chapter 12, the final story chapter of Xenoblade Chronicles X. And as you can see, I've started somewhere a little bit different from where I usually start. Usually, I start over in the barracks, but I thought it'd be fun to head back to Starfall Basin, which is where the game begins, and kind of bring things full circle. Although they are a bit mean. There is like a level 54 Tyrant here now. I don't know why that is. But yeah, before I get started, how is everyone doing today? Hopefully you're all having a good day. Welcome Ben, welcome Sam. I see you both in chat. Hopefully you're doing all right. Lurking is absolutely fine, Sam. Oh god, it's not just the Tyrant. There's like two other guys as well. Well, I'm just a very high energy person, Ben. That's all it is. Right, over to the barracks because, as usual for these story streams, I have a few chores and tasks that I want to take care of first. That way, it also just gives people, you know, a bit of a chance to get here and not miss out on any of the story. First things first. Let's see how my division's doing. Not well. Not well at all. Okay, right. So I, first of all, should probably repair my skells. Yeah, that totally didn't happen at all. You know, we just both imagined it. Right, first things first. I probably should have done this before coming back to the barracks, but I want to build up some TP. Because the last time I attempted this without TP, it didn't go very well. So there's a weird mark on my Switch, and I'm trying to like rub it off, but it won't come off. Yeah, most of the time it's the Prospectors that win. It's very rare that one of the other divisions wins. I mean, one day it will be a different division, but they kind of all go through their moments of popularity. But I think when I last played, like a couple of years ago, it was Interceptors that were winning. It was either Interceptors or Outfitters. Hey, dude. But yeah, this time around, it's been Prospectors. Okay, these things are dying way too quick.
Nice work.
I need something with a bit more health on it. Maybe you guys, you're a bit higher leveled. It probably doesn't help that I've been using arts. But I should probably just stick to auto attacks.
We need strength to see this through. Let the shadow I suppose I'm getting used to this.
Okay, next chicken. Or rather, turkey. Okay, I'm nearly at 2,000. Nearly there.
I suppose I'm getting used to this.
That one died really quickly.
Let's see what you've got.
Hey, Lolib95. Thank you for the follow. That's really appreciated. Welcome to the stream, by the way. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a good day. As for me, I am murdering ballsack turkeys. Okay, there we go. There's the 3,000. Right, back to the barracks. So, when I did Chapter 11, I tried to do the Vizara and Diva Kaladar time attack, and it didn't go very well. Turns out that's actually quite a hard fight on foot. I'm going to give it a second go. Yeah, no problem. I always like to welcome my new viewers. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, thank you. I'm always doing good when I'm playing this game. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But yeah, have you played this game before? Are you a Xenoblade fan? What console? Good old Wii U. I've got my gamepad. Yeah, that would have been the smarter move, Ben, but I'm lazy. Alright, gonna start with a Kaladar. Get my Core Crusher. Let's try and get things going here. Okay, that was not a good overdrive. That really wasn't. It did not help that this thing is bloody flying in the air and staying out of my way. That's the really annoying thing about doing this fight on the ground, is they just fly out of the range of your melee attacks. Right, that's the Kaladar down. Oh, nice. I've not played the Avatar Wii game. Yeah, I don't play much of the Wii these days. I tend to mainly be on my Switch and Xbox, and then I have my Wii U for this game. Yeah, I'm very jealous of your Zelda gamepad, I must admit. Right, guys, if we could switch our focus over to the other Kaladars. They need to go down, ideally quite quickly. Yeah, I've not really seen either of them, to be honest. I didn't even realize there was an Avatar game. But welcome on in, Iron Pro. How are you doing today? Nice to see you as well. Like a certain area in another game. Ah. Reminds you of Noctilum, does it? Okay, this is going a lot better than it did last time. Well, I'm not even taking advantage of my Core Crusher here either. Oh, don't even joke about that then. Gonna give me nightmares. Okay, the fire rain's coming, isn't it? That's what really screwed me last time, I think. I'll definitely take that secondary speed. Gonna take a group heal, don't mind me. Okay, now it's time for the fire rain. Wait, is it not? Oh, that... Right, let's build up. Let's build up another Black Bane here. Yeah, that knocked off a nice chunk. Okay, yeah, that was a lot smoother than last time. Although saying that, it's not over yet. It could still go wrong. Come on, he's so close to being dead. Right, definitely going to take a heal. A heal is needed. This last slither of health is just not going down. There we go.
That's all it took? Hope I didn't get in the way.
Okay, that was quite long. It wasn't really a struggle, though, which is a good sign. Okay, so I should probably build up my TP again, because there's another time attack I want to do. But I'm going to pick some targets that are going to last a little bit longer and have a little bit more health. Just so I can actually build up some decent TP on them. Alright, these guys will do very nicely. What the hell has happened to this poor Grex? Bloody hell. Was that like a multi-hit stagger or something? That was... Poor thing looked like it was having a seizure. Okay, almost at 2,000 already. I'm just going to circle these things and auto-attack. My team can handle this. I'll just grind the TP off it.
Victory. That's all it took? I hope I did my part.
Oh, I love that sound clip. This is totally the optimal way to play the game.
I got your bottle of weak sauce.
Alright, kill him. And there's another one here. Okay, you know what? I'm so close to having max TP. I may as well just go a little bit extra and just get it while I'm here. There we go. I believe that's my max amount. Time to just obliterate this guy. Unfortunately, no one else has really built up much, but that's fine. I don't really need them. Right, back to the barracks. So, the next time attack mission that I want to take care of is the Expert Warrior, which is a rematch with the Prog Ares. And again, I've never really fought this guy on the ground before without an endgame build, so I don't know how this is going to go. I'm hoping it won't be too bad. Yes, there is, but it's in the Battle Commands menu, so it's a little bit annoying to activate it each time. Right. Let's start with an overdrive. Ow. Okay, that is not a good start. Okay, yeah, that was... Oh, he's bloody immune. Gonna have to go ranged attacks. Is he just absorbing everything? What the... Okay, that's better. He just switched on me right as I switched. That's really annoying. Yeah, that was... that overdrive could have gone a lot better. Okay, he's still immune to ranged attacks. Don't think he's immune to debuffs, though. And if he's not immune to ranged attacks, I can do that. Right, it might have started off badly, but I think I can pull this back. No point wasting TP on an attack that's just going to bounce off him. I wish there was a way I could tell them to... Oh, no, I can. Yeah, use melee attacks, guys. Yeah, there is kind of that here, but it's just kind of... You have to pull up this menu and then scroll to it. It's kind of annoying. Right, I have another overdrive. I'm going to attempt overdrive again as soon as my arts have recalled. Also, this instrumental version of Uncontrollable does not get enough love. Oh, God. That came out of nowhere. Heal me. Heal. Heal. Oh, my God. Okay, after that Chapter 9 overdrive, I've been having a little bit of trouble getting it going again. Like, I hit an infinite overdrive that one time, and I've not done it since. But it looks like that did the job. Yeah, I do that a lot. Like, it's why it's best to kind of start a fight with overdrive, because all your arts are already filled up anyway. Yeah, that's not a bad time. Yeah, that's taking off TP arts is one way to get them to save TP, but then those TP arts tend to be really good in overdrive. Like, I just, like, if I'm not too... Like, most of the time, what they're doing doesn't really matter much anyway, so I just leave them to do what they're doing. But yeah, actually, while I'm on the subject of time attack missions, I do just want to... I've probably mentioned this before, but I do just want to bring attention to this. Hackers. Look at all these world records. 0.2 of a second, 0.3 of a second. You're not clever, guys. No one thinks you're good at the game. Why? Why bother? You're just ruining it for everyone. And the fact is, this resets every day. So someone is actively coming on every day and hacking for these times. Like, why? Is your life that dull that you need to do that? Is that the only satisfaction and achievement you feel in life? Like, yeah, like post-game, that's really the main reason you'd keep party members around. I tend to find that they're more helpful for Skell fights, because having 4 Skells is pretty good, whereas on the ground, they're not useful. Right. So, I thought it would be fun to catch up with a few of the quest NPCs that we've met over the course of the game and just kind of see how they've been getting on after their quests. Seeing as this is, you know, kind of a finale, it's nice to look back at the journey and all the people we've met. So the first one, I'm going to head over to Barista Court. Now, if there's a certain NPC here that I don't talk to that you would have liked to have seen, I probably would have wanted to have seen them as well, but they have a follow-up quest. That's like the most likely reason. Everyone I'm talking to is officially done in terms of their quests, I believe. So, Joe. Joe, the coffee girl, one of the first side quests that I did on stream.
Now what?
I broke all those ordering terminals, and the pen and paper thing didn't work out so well either. So I've decided to just memorize everyone's orders. And what can I get you today? Okay, so you want today's lunch special and pancake combo. You want pepperoni in your pasta, and afterwards a double espresso with 3 sugars. You also want a grappa coffee cornetto as an aperitif. And on your way out, an iced cappuccino in a to-go cup with pistachio ice cream and 2 straws. Oh no, my brain. I broke it. That's relatable. Welcome to the Sunshine Cafe. Oh, hey there, Cross. You probably want a latte or something, huh? Yeah, see, actually the espresso machine, well, I kind of broke it again. But I could make you a drip coffee in this old-school plastic coffee maker. Letrick at the cathedral suggested that, since it probably wouldn't break even if I dropped it. He's been such a big help to me. So it looks like she's doing well. She's still having her machine issues, but she's getting by. Right, the next one is over by the... is not actually in NLA itself. She's over at the water plant. So I definitely had to come back and check in on the water plant because the quest line here is really one of my favorites. Just such a good set of quests. So, Rosie.
Amazing.
I just heard from Majoa. She says she's finally up and moving around again. She even told me a little bit about what happened. Apparently, a Cantor laid eggs inside of her in order to take advantage of the organic components of her Mimiazome. Oh my god. I can't even imagine it. They really are aliens, aren't they? Well, I'd better get to work. I don't want Ajoa to be disappointed in me when she makes it back over here. It's nice to know that Ajoa is doing okay and she's recovering.
Thank you.
Having Tansaleg around has been a huge help. Now when I have technical issues, I can bring them straight to him. The only problem is that whenever I'm just grumbling about something, he takes it seriously and proposes some rational solution. He's so serious. It's like talking to a man who just doesn't listen, you know. But keep that between you and me, okay? As a work partner, he's fantastic. I'd hate to lose him. Okay, now I want to find the nearest clock. There's one south of here. I may as well fly on over rather than fast travel. Make the most of the scenery. We're not going to be seeing it for much longer. Set it to nighttime now. And then back over to the water plant. I mean, the water plant in general, even just ignoring the quest, is one of my favorite areas in general. I do like it when the world of the game changes as you play. And this is one of the just biggest examples of that, because it just kind of pops up. Like, it's obviously not there at the start of the game, and you help build it. It's really cool. But yeah, Tansaleg is here at night. Even out here, I am studiously developing new products for Orphean Technologies in accordance with the duty that I inherited from Sunsaleg. And of course, I rely on Tansaleg's great talent to develop my ideas into products people desire. Perhaps you're interested in easy-to-use weapons that employ advanced ether and gravitational control technologies, while also allowing for rapid movement. Or in a wide lineup of protective wear that employs proprietary camouflage technologies to attain levels of evasion no other company could achieve. In that case, I hope you'll put our products to use. I promise that they'll always be potent and an efficient choice. Yes. I hear that Lancord has been captured by Blade. That is one less danger that the water purification plant will have to face. However, indigent attacks remain a grave threat to which we must be ever vigilant. So I've been thinking for a while now that I should make some high-quality items for Rosie, who guards Nuale's water supply. Okay, right. Who should I go see next? I've got a whole list of these just to kill some time with. Ah, we can go see everyone's favorite Nopon duo. I believe they're over in the commercial district. Where are they? They might be here in the daytime. I know they're definitely around here somewhere. There they are. Mui Mui and Moe Moe. They found a legendary treasure, but how are they getting on after? Friends must wage epic, deadly battles to get back real bodies. Moe Moe and Brotherpon will stay in city and keep everyone nice and safe. Do not worry, Moe Moe and Mui Mui are blade veterans. No problem laying waste to a mob of Blatter or Terebra. Moe Moe will destroy them all. What about Prone? Friend must be kidding. Moe Moe not have Death Wish or something. Moe Moe not want to get eaten. Moe Moe just about ready to go forward with plan to mass-produce earwax remover of legendariness that Brotherpon Mui Mui find. When Moe Moe provide prototype sample to Chesh, it must have felt good because Chesh shout "Hoi" at top of lungs. Very possible earwax remover will become smash hit and sell like wildfire among Nopon. Moe Moe needs to make it up to Brotherpon for eating every last scrap of food. So once Moe Moe basically printing money, Moe Moe will repay Brother. No worries. Mui Mui has been very busy again. Located mega rare item called Penguinian while passing Dilution's South Summit. Oh, and Mui Mui also found rare insect called Snowy Angel Hair while swimming in Lake Ciel. Mui Mui turning into total ace curator these days, finding pretty much everything under sun except Sword of Legendariness. But just thinking about how many animals and insects Mui Mui must find to keep food on table. Meh. Mui Mui was all ready to teach Moe Moe lesson, but Moe Moe managed to strike first due to increasingly empty stomach of Mui Mui. Only way to put bratty little Brotherpon in place now is to eat, and to eat, Mui Mui must work extra hard as Blade. If only someone would send Mui Mui on completely safe mission to catch ball mosquitoes and earn 100,000 credits a pop. Instead, Mui Mui keeps having to go up against dangerous monsters in terrifying terrain. Mui Mui really needs to quit Blade and find a way to make money without slowly killing self. So it looks like those guys are not doing so well. What about the sweet child? You mean Tora?
Greetings.
Okay, this dialogue choice. You can see what Tatsu's been getting up to.
Tora show you.
Tatsu say he'd take down that behemoth all by himself, but Tora not impressed at all, meh. Mighty Tora actually took down Ruler of Fates that lurks deep in Noctilum. Took him down with one paw tied behind back. Don't stare at Tora like that. Story is completely true. Tora used Mega Torageddon move to put her on nasty Ruler of Fates. What? Friend wants to know what Ruler looks like. Tora cannot answer because Tora was blinded by Battle Rage. Saw only red. Yeah, you're full of shit, Tora. Soon, Tora will be reunited with Mamapon and Dadapon. But it's very important that Tora become distinguished merchant before reunion happens. Tora might have to hire Blade Friend to get ball rolling, otherwise stingy Nopon Commerce Guild never give Tora membership. But Friend looks kinda busy, also expensive. Does Friend know any novice blades who do good work for cheap? Maybe even free? Is that Nopon a blade? Yes, he is. He is a curator. They're both curators. There is a man on blade as well. I mean, there are several Xenoblades in this game. There's an Orpheon Blade, there's a Manon Blade, Celica and L are Xenoblades. L, his species isn't known, but Celica's a Clurian. She's one of two Clurians we meet, the other being Riz.
1, 2,
Right. If you don't remember these Manon, these are the ones that dealt with the cult. We Manon live a great number of years, but we've produced very few children, you know. Surely you've noted their absence from our ship. That's because they're being cared for and protected on our homeworld. Of course, if we fail to find a way to escape the confines of Mira, we'll have to more seriously consider extending our species here, you understand. But we would just as soon wait until the ganglion threat has passed, I imagine. That's one advantage of living long lives. We're never in a rush. Riz and Celica are the same species. It's not confirmed, but their designs are extremely similar in certain areas. Plus, they have the whole parallel with Dagan and Rock going on. Like, it's basically like all but confirmed that they are. It seems Phrazy believed the Bringer of Miracles would come to her rescue until the very end, don't you think? It should have been plain as day that the Xenoform was tricking her, right? The villain might even be hiding among us as we speak, you know. And, who knows what form it's taken? We must take care not to miss even the tiniest detail. And Jalimbo! I would be delighted to answer that now that I have finally bid my stomachache adieu, yes? We always saw eating as a chore, you understand. Merely a task to acquire nutrients. So you can imagine the culture shock when we found out that what you humans shovel into your pie holes. All the wrong nutrients, right? All those extra calories you don't even use, right? And don't even get me started on what it looks like. It turned it into a sort of entertainment, you know. It's actually kind of amazing. There's only one blade that's also a blade. That's true. I figured out a way to keep Dr. Staccato safe. That's great, right? All I need to do is become his assistant, see? Then he'll always be within sight. But if I'm going to become a doctor, I need to study Manon anatomy first, I imagine. Manon bodies aren't nearly as delicate as Manon engines, so even a klutz like me should be able to get in there without crossing the wrong wires. Hopefully. Jalimbo, I think you should be very concerned about accidentally killing someone that you're working on. Right, the next people I want to talk to are over here. Because one of the biggest quest lines that runs throughout the game is the Alex quest line. And I want to check in with Alice and Eliza and see how they're getting on now that he's dead. I wonder if there are lots of other people like Alex. You know, ones who can't accept the decisions Blade HQ has made. If those sorts of people were to go on a rampage in New LA, our giant defensive walls wouldn't be worth diddly poo. No, I'm not going to think like that. Eliza says I can't just go around distrusting everyone. She says I should believe in my fellow humans and be optimistic about our future. According to Sheshe, Alex was in league with those weirdos from the Ganglion. What do you think they were hoping to accomplish by deceiving humans like that? It scares me just thinking about it. We all have to learn to trust each other so they can't drive such wedges between us ever again. And I'm going to do everything I can to help Eliza make that dream a reality. And now Eliza?
Is something wrong? That's awful.
I believe that I should make no attempt to defend myself against my attackers. I thought that if I avoided resistance beyond attempting a dialogue with the assailants, that I could even get through to the Ganglion themselves. Perhaps that idea was naive.
Is something wrong? Wow!
It's been a gradual process, but it seems the prejudice many humans once held towards xenoforms is beginning to fade. The number of humans who have visited the Manon ship has grown quite dramatically. It's deeply gratifying to see our efforts bear fruit at last. But I could not have reached this point without your assistance and Alice's devoted support. I owe you both a great deal of gratitude, and I hope that you will continue to be a force for true freedom and equality in New LA. I mean, you say that, Mia managed to steal one, the pizza guy managed to steal one. It seems like everyone who shouldn't have a Skell ends up with one. Oh, next, we're gonna go see poor Boo Boo. See how he's getting on after his wife cruelly left him. Here he is, just face planting the ground, the poor guy. Gossip travels fast in Noppon community. Everyone know that Lana run off with Wololo. Meh. Of course, Nopon blame everything on Boo Boo, say that Boo Boo is poor excuse for leader. But that's not true. Wololo just got tricked by angelic face of Lana. Her beauty cast wicked speller made Wololo act funny. All Wololo have to do is apologize and... Nope, never mind. Boo Boo not nice enough to forgive Wololo. If Tatsu got a scale, it would be a disaster, I think. I don't think that would end well. Was Boo Boo supposed to make favorite foods of Lana more often? Where did Boo Boo go wrong? Maybe Boo Boo should have put more thought into which bodyguard to send out with Angel Wife. Or maybe Boo Boo will never know. Meh. Boo Boo needs more time to think. Then Boo Boo decide whether or not to go find Lana again. If Lana even wants to be found. I feel bad for poor Boo Boo. I really do. If you pick the other ending, Lana does come back to him, but it's clearly a very unhappy marriage for both of them. It's kind of depressing. There's not really a good ending to that questline. But why don't we go check in with Wololo and Lana? See how they're getting on with their child. I'll talk to Wololo first. Ask Wololo how the child rearing is going. See? Hot spring over there. That where Wololo decided to give Little Pon very first bath. Honestly, it was only when Wololo holds soggy and suddenly heavier Little Pon in arms that wonders of Dadapon had hit home. True, Little Ponds smell like rotten eggs now, but mineral in hot spring very healthy. Wololo going to swim there with family all the time. On closer inspection, Little Pon is spitting image of Dadapon Wololo. Does friend agree? Little Pon so darling and cute. Wololo going to work hard on upbringing and make sure Little Pon turn out perfect. Wololo must dedicate whole life to making Lana and Little Pon happy as can be. But maybe friend can find a way to break this news gently to Boo Boo. Wololo good at making messes, but not very fond of cleaning messes up. A spitting image, huh? Wololo, it has buttons for eyes. How have you not noticed yet? You're an idiot, Wololo. Lana needs to think up some new products in order to make living here. Aha! Human friends like smell small, round, fluffy things like Nopon, right? Then Lana have great idea. Lana will manufacture more of these and sell fake Little Pon to friends. Huh? Meme? Lana means stuffed animals that look like Little Pon. Not that own Little Pon is fake. Do not get wrong idea. There. Woo! Raising Little Pon is hard. Can friend not see Lana is busy? Go make self useful and tell Boo Boo that Lana say bye-bye. Wololo will be taking care of Lana from now on. Lana going to live life in Fastlane. Heh. Everything is going according to plan. Lana finally free to do whatever Lana want. I do wonder what the next step of Lana's plan is, because she can only keep this up for so long. There's a bad ending and a bad but funny ending, indeed. Hey, Adam Ski, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a good day. Denial is a powerful force. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Right, there's one more NPC I want to go talk to. But I think it might need to be nighttime. Alright, there's a bench over this way.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good, thank you. I've had a nice chill day. I've cleaned my flat. I rang my grandparents earlier and spoke to them, which was nice because I've not seen them in a little while. And then, yeah, I'm very excited to play Chapter 12 in just a moment. So yeah, good day. It's been a good day.
Yep, and get this.
Right, she's somewhere. There she is. So this is the Rothian with the cute round ears. Let's see how she's doing now.
Calm yourself. Ah,
Unlike the Ganglion, you humans seek to meet other alien races with diplomacy, not violence. I admire this compassionate, bloodless approach, though I see it does not always work. The Manon, for example, were here before us, and they still meet with prejudice and abuse. Some, I am told, have even met with death. So yes, the path you have chosen is not easy, but I still wish you luck. Let them call me Unrothian for saying it, but fighting is not the only solution for things.
calm yourself. I thank you.
In my battles with you, I was able to confront my weakness. I learned to focus and gained the courage to attempt skill training, which is something I had been avoiding. No longer shall I be a burden to my kinsmen on the field of battle. Thank you. I will keep up my training so I can be more like Go Rogan, striking down Myriad foes and doing my duty to the prince. Okay, so I want to do kind of a very quick story recap kind of thing. I'm not going to be recapping the whole story, I'm just going to be going over where we found each piece of the Lifehold before we locate the final one. So the first one was found during Chapter 4 in Noctula. Ah, thank you. And yeah, good luck yourself when you get to it. Chapter 12 is a very tough one. So it's down this way. There's good old Lambert. So yeah, the first piece of the Lifehold was one of the archive units. I believe it's one of the only ones that's confirmed what was actually in it. And it was found here in the Sunlit Spring, but Goetia blew it up. Then the second was found over in Oblivia. So the second was over here by the ruins on the sandbank during Chapter 7. But again, Goetia got to it first and promptly blew it up. Then the third is found in Primordia over here, and was found during Nagi's Affinity mission, Nagi's Time. And Nagi and his crew managed to successfully defend it from the Ganglion, but unfortunately his crew all died. This one is kind of the weirdest one because it's the easiest one to find, but it doesn't get acknowledged till like past Chapter 8, like Iron Pro kind of just said. The fourth one is over in Koldros. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they barely touch on it in that mission. It's kind of a footnote of the mission. It's not the main focus. So it's kind of easy to forget. So the fifth one is found down here on Slavebird Isle, and was found as a result of doing the Black Lifehold mission and getting a 50% survey rate of Koldros. And we were able to get medical data from it and help Henna Henna, who is the large alpha Nopon. And then the last one, and certainly the least one, because it's annoying, is found over in Silverland. It's found up here, and it's found as part of the mission White Lifehold. But currently, I've not done that mission because it's quite hard. So this Lifehold unit is still in the hands of the Ganglion. And it will remain that way for a few more weeks. But yeah, it's pretty cool. There's one Lifehold unit in each of the continents. So even though you only find them in Noxilum and Oblivia during the story, there is one to find everywhere. It's pretty cool. Like, they could have just had them purely be a story thing, but it's nice that you can find them in side quests as well. It just goes towards making the side quests feel more important in the grand scheme of things. But I think that's enough dilly-dallying. We've got plenty of people here. Just going to sort my glasses out because they're a bit smudged. And then I'm going to start chapter 12. I hate glasses sometimes. I really hate how easily they smudge. Like, the first month of wearing them when they're nice and clean is great. They're so clear. And then as soon as they've smudged for the first time, there's always a slight smudge from the wipe itself. And it just... I'm very sensitive to it. It bugs me. I mean... You know what I mean. Anyway. It's time for the end.
Brave citizens of New Los Angeles, this is your Director General, Maurice Chausson. Today, I come before you with truly joyous news. News that I have been longing to be able to share with you since we first set foot on this unknown world. Thanks to the tireless efforts of the brave men and women of Blade, we have finally succeeded in securing the location of the Lifehold Core. Now make no mistake, recovery of the core will not be easy, especially as the Ganglion continue their persecution of our people. But as long as we forge ahead with the same determination and fortitude that got us this far, I have every confidence we will succeed in our mission. We will return to our natural bodies and take our place as living, breathing residents of our new home here on Mira. Until then, I ask you all to stand together in strength and courage as proud citizens of NLA.
All right, Blades. You heard what the man said. It's now or never. So let's get right to it. Your mission is to secure the Lifehold Core and activate its backup power system. We'll have the exact location isolated in the next 2 hours. You'll leave as soon as we have coordinates. We're counting on all of you. Each and every single Blade will participate in this mission. Godspeed.
Welcome on in, Blunter. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today?
All right, everybody, dig in. And don't hold back. I made enough for everyone.
Tatsu helped with cooking too. Wow, you really went all out.
It smells amazing. Don't go hogging it all, Gwyn.
Yeah, whatever. You're one to talk.
How kind of you to desert us like this, Lin.
What in the hell is this? We're going to war here, people.
And you know what they say. Can't go to war on an empty stomach.
Can't go to war if you're dead either. Which is us if the Lifehold's power runs out. For all we know, the Ganglion are already at the core getting ready to tear it apart. You still hungry? If we lose this one battle, we lose everything.
We already understand that, Doug. But you heard what Nagi said. We have to wait while they pinpoint the core's location.
Like this? You just don't get it, do you?
No, Doug. You don't get it.
What?
You think you're the only one here who's worried? We all are. We're scared to death. That's why we're here. Together.
Look, Irina...
Lynn is just trying to keep up morale the best way she knows how.
Yeah! Pick on Linley and you answer to Tatsu!
All right. Look, Lynn. I'm sorry. I'm on edge. Worried, freaked out, all of it. Forgive me, okay?
No. But bring me 10 hot cocos, and we'll talk.
From that place you love, right? Okay. You got it.
So I can enjoy this time with friends, or dive right in and start eating. And if anyone has ever been to a buffet or a party with me, you know I'm chowing down right away.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Hey, wait for us!
Save some for Tatsu!
Help yourself, Doug.
Roger that.
Oh, man, am I stuffed.
I couldn't eat another bite. Tatsu cannot move.
Amazing as always, Lynn. Thank you.
Now I get why Irina and the commander are always making excuses to swing by. That was delicious, Lynn.
Oh, you guys. Don't make me blush. I'm just glad you enjoyed it.
Well, I should be getting back. Thanks for the eats.
Shall we, Lieutenant?
Yeah, we'd better go too. This was really great, Lynn. Thanks.
Yeah, this was fun, Lynn.
Indeed. It was a most enjoyable food ritual.
All right. Good luck out there, guys.
Elma, the analysis is just about finished. Gather your team and get over here.
On our way.
Yeah, well, I think it's been well established that Cross doesn't really have much going on in her head. So it makes sense for her to be like that. Right, anyway, over to Blade Tower. I could walk, but I really see no point. It's literally just over here.
Yep, and get this.
That's the Lifehold Core?
The coordinates place it off the west coast of Kaldros. It's no wonder we couldn't find it. It's way out in the middle of the ocean.
Did it sink underwater?
We'll find out soon enough. Let's suit up and get going. Secretary?
Our survival as a species hinges on your efforts. Elma, we need your help. Please save us.
We're all in this together, Secretary. My goal hasn't changed since I first set foot on the White Whale. You of all people should know that. I intend to see this through. That should go without saying.
I know. It's just, we've put so much on your shoulders.
You can make it up to me with a nice long vacation once this is all over. This planet fascinates me to no end. I'd love to take some time to explore it with no agenda.
Oh, can Tatsu be Elma's guide? Of course, Tatsu do it free of charge. It's all over the house.
Let me guess. Elle taught you that one?
We sent the coordinates to every Blade team we got. Elma, I want you to act as commander for everyone out there in the field.
I'd be honored, Mr. Chief Engineer.
I forgot how much I miss being called. Commander makes me feel like some useless old stuffed shirt.
Yeah, and shirts aren't your style. All right, team, let's go.
Roger.
Tatsu has lunches all packed.
Planet fascinates me to no end. Oh yeah, yeah. we'll get to that. Right. I have a bit of a headache forming, and my drink is empty, so I'm just gonna go and take some ibuprofen and refill my drink, and then I'll get on with things. Hey, DC, welcome to the stream. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a good Friday. I am doing very well, thank you. Right, so the best place to reach the Lifehold core from is probably going to be Site 501, which is kind of just off the northwest coast of Kuldros. Friday, Saturday. My days are blurring into one. Time has no meaning for me anymore. All right, so it's quite a long flight out. It's a really long journey. And I'm actually gonna take it like by landing on the ocean floor just to save some fuel, because I want as much fuel as possible going into this chapter. And there it is off in the distance. The Ganglion are already there. So if you were to come out to this point before Chapter 12, the Lifehold won't be there. Unlike the other pieces of the Lifehold, it only spawns in when you actually start the chapter. Yeah, this is it, the last chapter. And this peaceful music really does not fit the scene unfolding in front of me. I'll try not to, Blunter. I'll try not to.
Elma, there it is.
Damn, they got to it already.
No, not yet. Look where it meets the water.
Is that a force field?
The Lifehold was designed to sustain human life at all costs. The defensive shields that surround the core won't go down so easily.
So in other words,
We've nothing to worry about?
I didn't say that. Remember, they don't need to break into the core. They just have to keep us out until time runs out. Which is soon.
Speaking of time, it's time to kick some ganglion butt.
Yes, yes! Friends kick ganglion in butts.
That's the spirit. I need you all at your best. Everyone's counting on us to see this through. And we won't get a second chance. All units, this is your commander, Elma. My team will take point. We'll breach the core, and then once inside, attempt to activate the backup power. Doug, Irina, Gwyn, and Elle, you're with us. All other teams, focus on clearing our approach, then defend our position once we're in. That is your our priority, not destroying all enemy craft. Are we clear?
Team Cressida, roger.
Trishula, Roger.
Mingursu, Roger.
Bomber, Roger.
Team Surtur, roger. We'll take out any hostiles along your approach.
Breach team, let's go.
Roger.
Yeah, I forgot that I put the cat ears on Bose. Yeah, I really enjoy that cutscene. It's nice to see all of the side quest characters appearing in the story. Tatsu's little side chair is amazing. And I love his little nod. He's like, yes, kick ganglion and butts. Plus, just it's a really cool moment just to kind of hype you up to for the final battle. I don't know actually, Iron Pro. I would have to look that up. Oh, hello. Where are you coming from? I was hoping to fly low to avoid these guys, but I guess that didn't happen. But yeah, I would have to research that and see if they were in the original Japanese version. I know you can technically find the characters in NLA before you get the DLC, because their segments do count, like their recruitment segments. So I assume they'd still appear. See, it did its job, Ben, and you're not even playing the game. Right, nearly there.
Finally. The Lifehold core.
Let's hurry, before they can follow us inside. All right, here we go.
Our real bodies. We can finally be whole again.
Attention, this is Lifehold core control. System energy levels have dropped below 0.2. Shielding will be disabled in T-minus 1,000 seconds. Repeat. This is Lifehold core control.
What? 15 minutes and we lose the shields?
If the core runs out of power, the shields will be the least of our problems.
Well, yes and no. We need to keep the core powered, but we do also need those shields.
It's two birds with one stone's throw away. The shields will cause the ganglion to use up their materiel and retreat.
Exactly. Everything comes down to getting the backup power source online.
Right then. Let's do it.
So thankfully, there's not actually a 15-minute timer, because that would actually be bullshit. Right, I'm gonna save. Just because this is the point of no return. Once you go inside, you can't come out until the chapter is cleared. Which means if your skells go down during any of these fights, you aren't getting them back until you're done. That is why I got so many backup Phoenixes, because if they go down before I need them, I'm kind of screwed. Save a few times for good measure. And it's time. For 7 months, we've been journeying and exploring to get to this point. And it's finally time.
Once we're inside, there's no turning back. Everyone ready?
So I can tell Elmer I'm ready, or tell Elmer I need more time. Picking more time just takes you back to before selecting.
You're sure now?
I'm definitely ready. Hey Raiders, thank you for the raid. How are you doing, Aqua? Hopefully your stream went well. You're here just in time for the final chapter. Don't get me started on this game never ending.
Why have we not received confirmation that the target is destroyed? What is the delay?
Grandmaster, sir, the target appears to have some manner of customized Trion barrier.
A Trion barrier? Are you daft? These are humans we're talking about. No one outside of the Clue system has access to Trion technology. And those scales of theirs. How did a primitive race like theirs manage to piece those together?
As you say, Grandmaster. But if they are truly the Founder's descendants...
Don't speak to me of myths. Ah, a tale to frighten children. They are the disease, not the cure. They are not the failsafe.
Number 4 Cubula is down!
Heavy damage sustained in turret cluster 3.
The enemy forces are rallying. Sir, we can no longer effectively strike the target.
Where are the interceptors?
An enemy detachment has cut them off. They can't reach us.
But these are savages, not... No, I refuse to believe it. Prepare the Vita. I shall crush them myself.
Grandmaster, with all due respect, sir, the Vita belongs to the Great One. Your body could not withstand it.
The Great One's blood runs in these veins. I will use it, because I must use it. Prophecy or no prophecy, you will not be the end of our people. I swear it. Ah, yes, your barrier. You think it can stop the Vita? Stop the Great One?
A moment of calm before the storm. And I'm just going to take this moment to actually properly welcome in the Raiders, because you kind of came in during a cutscene there. But yeah, thank you once again for the raid, Aqua. I really hope your stream went well. I assume you were playing more Half-Life 2? Yes, indeed you were. Yeah, the whole prophecy failsafe thing really does come in the last minute. I will talk about the story later, but it's in the original version of X's story that I've mentioned a few times. This probably would have been the halfway point, which is probably a better place to just randomly introduce a big plot point like that. But yeah, there's no point delaying. It's time to go in.
Is this it? Will my unending thirst for knowledge be satiated at long last?
Yeah, so then, where is it all? All I see is a whole lot of nothing.
It's so quiet. I feel like we're back in the cathedral.
Okay, Elma. What's the deal here? Where are all the stasis capsules? Where the hell are all our bodies?
Don't tell me. This isn't the core?
Whoa, what? Seriously?
This has to be it. You all saw what the core looked like in the mission briefing. This is definitely it.
Lynn's right. This is the place.
Then where are all the people we brought with us from Earth?
You're all controlling these MIMs from your real bodies, asleep in stasis. That's the explanation you were given by NLA, or should I say ECP officials. That was the official story, but it's not the whole truth.
Colonel, what do you mean?
Wretched humans. You'd be dead already if it wasn't for that blasted barrier.
What the? It's that mech they stole from the hangar.
Ganglion?
He's an ugly mother. Eugh.
You must be the Ganglion leader, the one Lau spoke of. Luxar, was it?
That's him?
Do not presume to address me. You defile my name by even speaking it. Only the Great One may call me that.
Great One?
I am here to purge the universe of your disease, once and for all.
What are you so afraid of? Destroying the Earth wasn't enough. You had to chase down the survivors and destroy them, too. What's their threat? You'd even risk flying that crippled mech. That's right, isn't it? It's not complete. It's still missing something vital.
Interesting. Then you're not entirely ignorant, are you? Perhaps your human birthright allows you to sense it, even in that puppet shell.
Birthright?
You're no ordinary puppet. You must be the one responsible for the Trion barrier, the Scales, this whole blasted mess! Then perhaps I am mistaken after all. Perhaps humanity is the failsafe of the legend. But you will not find the Ganglion content to submit and resign ourselves to that fate. No. Instead, I will purify this world and prepare it for the advent of the Great One. Now, humans, you die!
So the first phase of this fight is pretty simple, so just listen to this music.
I shall purge you from the cosmos! This will be a fitting end to your pathetic race.
I should get my skeleton.
Hear my
Could this be the power-up button?
Come on!
I've got him pinned! Firing all round! Please! Why don't you flee? Lay down some cover fire!
You've got the edge!
Could this be the power-up button?
You've got the edge!
Could this be the power-up button?
Move in and keep the rhythm going!
Get ready for some
Move in and do some damage! Flying field! Got the edge! Flying field! Got the edge!
Yes! Hit him again! Could this be the power-up button?
Secondary
Could this be the power-up button?
How can you be descended from them?
Absolutely love that track. Probably my favorite battle theme in the game.
I confess, you were right about one. I was indeed fearful of humanity, of your threat. At the dawn of the cosmos, the Samarians arrived from another plane. We men are forbidden from turning against them. If we ever tried, we would be destroyed. I thought that it was just a myth. And yet here you are, the descendants of Samar. You miserable human! How could you be this? Such a primitive people, barbarians. And yet the stories would have us bow down before you? Never!
So the second form of the Vita looks awesome. Right, I really hope it's healed my Skell. It has, good. I really, really need the Skells to get through this fight. Yeah, this phase, his defense is a bit lower, but he's now more attacking focused, so he does a bit more damage. But yeah, the track names in the soundtrack are they're interesting. Wow, whoa. He is nearly already dead. Bloody hell. His defense really is lower. Right, any moment now, he's going to put up a shield. Okay, yeah, I think it's up. Yeah, so he is now invulnerable. But over here, one of these satellites, this one, the shield satellite, is actually creating the shield, so we're going to need to take it down. So if I can get everyone to focus on it.
Could this
Okay, Trebus, don't go down, please. Okay, that's the shield one down. Now if we can get my focus back onto the Vita. Right, everyone focus him again. He is nearly done. This was a lot easier than I was expecting. There we go. He's down. Yes, it does. It's R and then up on the D-pad.
Then the old tales have come to pass. Even the Vita, even the Great One's own vessel, bested by these primates. It's absolutely sickening.
The bigger they come, the harder they fail.
We came here to ensure the survival of the human race. The will to live is stronger than the will to destroy, Luxar. That is why you lost here today.
If only I could see him, the Great One last.
Is it over?
Sure looks that way.
Lieutenant, we did it! First dance of victory, then Lenly's victory feast.
Sure, Tatsu. I'm game.
Let us dance up a storm in any port.
So I can revel in our victory, or ask Elma to continue her explanation from before the battle. I'm going to inquire.
Hey, come on. Lighten up. We just finally beat the Ganglion. Tatsu even wants to be part of the victory feast. Isn't that right, Tatsu?
Wait! When Lindley say part of the feast...
Yeah. I mean, we'll all eat you, in celebration.
No! No! Tatsu want nothing to do with Lindley's feast. Nothing at all.
Oh, okay. We'll just eat without you then.
But wait, no! Lindley know what Tatsu means.
I'm sure you two will work it out somehow. Anyway, getting back to the conversation from earlier. So, that big machine hanging above us?
I've never seen one anywhere near that size, but it looks like a 7th generation quantum mainframe.
That's exactly right. It's by far the most technologically advanced computer humanity has ever created, in terms of both speed and capacity. It's also the foundation for the Earth-Life Colonization Project. It's where all your consciousnesses have been recorded.
What?
Elma, you mean...
Yes, that's what I mean. And not just everyone in New LA. The essence of all 20 million humans we brought with us from Earth are there. Including all their memories, their genetic makeup, anything and everything. It's all been digitized and stored away in the core. Right up there.
Then, what about our bodies?
You mean the originals all this data was sampled from? They were destroyed, along with the Earth.
Then, wait, you mean we're already dead?
You could see it that way, or you could see it differently. The bodies you were born with, and all the chemicals and organs that created and stored your thoughts, are gone. But yourself has lived on as data, from the moment the project scanned your minds. It's all been stored here as part of the long-term plan, until it could be moved back into a real body.
What real bodies?
I'll show you. Those capsules represent a sample of all the genetic material that could be found on Earth. Exodus was always about more than just fleeing the planet. Ships like the White Whale were designed as arks, to carry the building blocks of all life on Earth to the next world.
Ark? You mean as in, like, Noah's Ark?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. A last-ditch effort to save all living things, that they might someday flourish again. This entire chamber is filled with protoplasmic fluid. You see how it works. It can regenerate life from the genetic data stored above.
Including humans? All of us?
Once your bodies are cultivated, your present memory can be transferred back in. Everything you've felt or done in your MIM will be carried over seamlessly, without any loss in continuity.
You mean we'll have our bodies back? It sounds too good to be true.
It is too good to be true. Our bodies were real. We were born in them. And now you just snap your fingers and bam, we get new ones? Is that even right? Doesn't feel like it. Are we even humans anymore? Transferring our memories? Playing musical chairs with our bodies? Where do you draw the line? How do I know I'll be the same person I was wherever I end up?
To some extent, you won't be. But then, you never were. On a cellular level, we all wake up as slightly different people every day. It's only because of the continuity of consciousness that we even perceive ourselves as ourselves. It's all a fragile illusion. And until anyone proves we all have a soul, one better left to the philosophers. You're right to have doubts, Doug. This was the single biggest debate among the ECP board. And rightly so.
So then...
We did talk about putting actual bodies in stasis. We seriously considered it. In fact, some of the other projects took that path. They would have been lucky if their ships were able to hold 50,000. The Exodus arcs were different. Enough data and materials to revive 20 million people, perfectly preserved on each and every ship. The board weighed all the pros and cons, the ethical issues and dangers of violating the natural order of things. But this is what they landed on, and I agreed.
So, when Lao said our flesh burned away with the earth, he wasn't just being dramatic.
No, he must have discovered the truth, which only made his pain worse. But the same people who passed over his family were keeping this all secret.
It's no wonder he snapped. Bastard.
But even so, he never said anything. You know why, right? Because of you, Lynn. He didn't want to see you lose hope. In the end, he led us here, right? In the end, maybe he accepted it. I'd like to think he did.
Maybe so.
The ultimate hope with Project Exodus was that Mimiosomes could escort this system to a safe new home, lay down the foundations of a new society, and basically reboot humanity, continue where it left off. Despite everything we've been through, with the ganglion and everything else, that dream is almost a reality. I know how you feel, Doug, and you can call it whatever you like, but I need to see us through. I'll have to live with my decision, but I get to live with my decision. What about you?
I'm sorry, Elma. This is just a lot to take in. To be honest, I still have big concerns. But I can see you're following the path you believed in, the choices you were given. So what the hell? I made it this far in a tin can. Why not?
Yeah. Me too.
Tatsu 3!
Tatsu, this has nothing to do with you.
What? No? Sorry, Tatsu a little lost, but if it means friends get to make more hum-hum, Tatsu gladly approve.
Hum-hum? What the hell is that?
Tatsu had no idea.
Luxar!
He's still alive?
Human scum. Failsafe or not, you will never see your people reborn. You will die in those puppet bodies of yours.
Attention, this is Lighthold Core Control. The system has detected a threat to core integrity. Now initiating internal defensive measures.
That slug-faced bastard! He's targeting the main control system!
Give it up, Luxar!
Silence, worm! You fools! You are the ones who don't belong here! Humanity is the cancer, not us!
Everyone, do whatever it takes! We have to stop him, and quickly!
Roger that. Wait a second. Look!
Initiating internal defensive measures.
Are you kidding me?
The same system that regenerates life from Earth can also create biological weapons to defend itself. But those are... my god!
Those things? Those monsters are a defensive measure? The system's malfunctioning. We have to stop it.
Oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Hideous humans betrayed by their own hideous creations.
Who the hell are you calling hideous?
Lau!
You came!
Damn you!
This was not going anywhere. You deal with the core defenses.
Got it.
Lau coming in with a save last minute. Welcome to the stream, Upset Coffee. How are you doing today? Right, this fight, there are 10 of them. This fight is a bitch. But... come in, my pretties. Fuck the lot of ya. That's why I wanted a Phoenix.
Initiating internal defensive measures. Final phase.
You traitorous scum. What happened to our bargain? Do you humans have no principles at all?
Principles? You deal with a traitor, you really shouldn't be surprised when you get stabbed in the back!
You primitive little ingrate. Have you forgotten what they did to you? What they did to your family?
Oh, I remember all right. My family'd still be here if you hadn't brought your damned war to our doorstep. Because of you, there's only 20 million of us left. That leaves 9.98 billion reasons for me to want you dead. You who took my wife and daughter away from me, Luxar!
Damn it! Get him out of there!
This is human DNA. It was true. It was all true.
Hang on!
Exodus was a lie. One we all accepted because the truth was too painful. That humanity was meant to die off along with our home. Along with Earth. But something happened here on Mira. I realized I was wrong. These Mimiosomes, they aren't just ghosts or shadows. They're people. Seeds of new life that are struggling to take root. I finally see that now. What's happening? It's like all the life on Earth is flowing inside me.
Absorbing all the DNA! We have to stop him! No! You can't! Out of the way, Lynn! We can't let the life hold be destroyed. This time, I'll shoot.
Elma! Please!
She's right. It's not me anymore. This body is beyond my control. Please, Lynn, put an end to this. Don't let me be the one who finally ruins everything. Everything humanity has achieved to get us this far.
Last warning, Lynn. You need to move.
Okay. But then I'm fighting too. Not just for our sake, but for his! And you? Are you with me? Thank you.
And suddenly, Resident Evil. Right, I am ditching the Skell. Lau has an arc called Apocalypse Roar that just drains your Skell of all of its fuel. So there's really no point fighting in a Skell. I may as well get on the ground and start building up TP. But yeah, there are a lot of bangers in this chapter. Like, this chapter really just shows off the best of this game's soundtrack. Okay, I am going to leave the rest of my party in Skells for now, though. Just because the damage output from them is going to be better in a Skell. Okay, so far he's not using his arc. Like, it might be based, he might only use it if the player-controlled character is in a Skell. So I might be able to exploit things by being on the ground here. Although that's just speculation. Like, he might still be able to use it, he might not, he might just not feel like it. Get up another Black Bane there. Yeah, that's obviously why I did it that way. Ow. Yeah, he really isn't using Apocalypse Roar. That's kind of weird. Unless it's a second phase thing, which it might be. Yeah, this song is an absolute banger. Right, phase 2. Okay, there's Apocalypse Roar. It somehow missed Elmer's Skell. Elmer, getting your Skell. Right, he drained me of my TP. That's really rude. Yeah, it's all on the ground from here. Just want to build up this last bit of TP. Come on, one more hit. Right, here we go. Let's get this going. Okay, that did a nice chunk of his health. I wasn't able to extend it, but that was good. If I can kill him before he summons his reinforcements, that would be great. Now, the good bit about saving my Skell is that it has... Ah, damn, there they are. But the good bit about not letting my Skell get hit by Apocalypse Roar is that I can now pull it in at the end of the fight and just go ham on him. And there we go. That fight's usually one I struggle with, but that went pretty well.
How's it look?
Is it still running?
It's fine. Looks like it held together.
Thank God. We saved it. All of us.
We couldn't save Lau.
On the contrary. By stopping him and preventing him from destroying the system, we saved Lau too.
That's right. His DNA and his memories. All of it is still stored in here.
Exactly. And with this, now we finally have the means to bring him back.
But wait. Would he even want to come back?
All the things he did. He'll be able to remember them all, right?
All the more reason. You can't make up for your mistakes when you're dead. Hell, he'd better come back. He's got work to do. Wrongs he needs to right.
She's right.
Okay then. Come on, let's hurry up and restore the system.
Colonel?
Everyone wait. There's one more thing I need to talk to you about.
Oh man, what now?
The truth is, exactly one MIM in New LA actually is being controlled remotely from a real body held in stasis here.
Wait, someone isn't stored in the database with the rest of us?
That's right. This was a special case.
The hell does that mean?
Better just to show you.
Colonel!
Elma is dead?
No. I think this is...
I haven't died. My consciousness has just returned to my real body.
Elma? Is that really you?
Yes. This is my true form. I was kept here in stasis, the only xenoform on board.
Wait a second. All this time you were an alien?
No way.
And all the more lovely for it.
I hope you all understand. And at the end of the day, I just hope you'll still consider me as one of you.
Of course we will. You've earned that, Elma. It's not about how you look. It's the person you are on the inside. That's what counts.
Yes, yes!
Lynn's right. Colonel, listen. We know whatever you did, you felt it was for the greater good.
Yeah. Nothing's changed.
That's right.
Everyone, thank you. Your trust means everything to me, and I have so much more to tell you now that this time has finally arrived. But first, there's something I must do. And it's something that only I can do. There. The backup power should be all set.
Biometric authorization accepted. Initializing backup power system.
Hey, so did that really just work? There's no way it might still run out of juice?
No, it's working.
Elma, it's Secretary Nagi.
Put him through.
It's official, everyone. Power has been restored. Congratulations. Fandom is reporting that the Ganglion forces outside the Lifehold have been routed. The Prospectors should have the main power system back online in a matter of days.
Roger that.
It's over. Excellent work, all of you.
Well, we all gotta die sometime, but it won't be today.
That's right. Once the main power's back online, we don't need to worry about running out again.
And we won't even need that anymore once we're back in our bodies.
Yup, you got that right.
First things first, we'll need to get the control system repaired. Then we'll hit up the database down below. We need to check on your memories.
Just a second. Wasn't she saying she was gonna tell us the rest of what she knows?
Hey, that's right. I got so excited I almost forgot.
Relax, there's no need for us to hurry, right? We're finally home free. We've got all the time in the world now.
Well, it's a pretty long story. Tell you what, why don't we go back to New LA, and we can talk over a nice big celebratory feast.
Good idea. Lindley can cook it all. Tatsu will oversee.
Yeah, you can watch over everything. From inside the stew pot. Okay?
All right then. It's settled.
Well then, without further ado...
Right. Back to New LA. We're ready now. Ready to go home. It was 30 years ago when Elma first came to Earth. She'd come with a mission. A war was being waged between the Interstellar Federation the Ganglion belonged to and another alien civilization. And Elma knew that eventually, that war would come to Earth. She came to our planet, alone, to save us. She convinced those in power, like Secretary Nagi, that the threat was real, and helped put into motion a grand plan to preserve all of mankind. Her alien tech brought us skells so we could defend ourselves. It gave us light-speed travel to ensure our escape. And it led to mimeosomes to facilitate our survival. None of this would have been possible for centuries without the help we received from Elma. Everyone says the Earth died that day. But not me. I don't believe it. The white whale couldn't have been the only Ark to escape either. There must be other survivors out there. Somewhere. The path ahead may not be clear, and it certainly won't be easy. But for now, the important thing is we're here, on Mira, and we're alive. And we'll live on, for now, with faith in our hearts that one day we can once again set out to search for the planet we left behind.
So I'll sum up my thoughts in just a second. I'm going to let these credits play out because this song is an absolute banger.
Wait, what? This damage isn't from our last battle. It's from earlier, when we crashed on Mira.
It does look pretty bad in there, doesn't it? You'd never know it by looking at the exterior.
All right. I'm entering the database chamber.
Be extra careful in there. That's everything we've been working for.
Understood. What?
What is it, Elma? Is there a problem with the database?
No. That's impossible.
Elma, report. Elma!
Secretary. I'll stick to the facts. The system. Everyone's consciousnesses and memories. The entire database. Has been destroyed for some time.
Destroyed? What do you mean? Explain yourself.
The entire chamber is flooded. It's trashed. The system is completely shut down. And not just recently. It's been this way since we got to Mira.
That's absurd. Then how are we... How in the world would anyone be?
I know. So then why would you be alive? It's not possible. Without the database, all your identities should be gone too. It's this planet. It's something about this planet.
It's this planet. It's something about this fucking planet. This story never truly fucking ends. I hope you guys can see why I am so desperate for a sequel, because god damn it, they tease you so much. They just... It could have ended, and it would have just been a nice ending, you know. Not a mind-blowing big story like Xenoblade 1 and 2, but just a nice, self-contained... No, all hopes of that are out the window. Oh, 7 years. I have been haunted by that damn cliffhanger for 7 years. Anyway, I'll catch up with chat in just a second. So, you can now use Elma's true form. So a number of different things have been unlocked by beating the game. I'll be going over those later. The main one is that if we come into the settings, and then I believe it's in system settings, you can change Elma's appearance between her Mimiosome and her true form. Yeah, it's... Oh, I agree, Iron Pro. Anyway, so yeah, you get to see pretty Crystal Elma anytime you want now. So that's cool. Oh, I really do enjoy that final chapter. The fights are pretty tough, unless you know what you're doing, like I do. And the music is great, and it adds... I really like the twist about the bodies. Like, it kind of caught me off guard the first time I played this game, and I have done my very best not to spoil it. But, yeah, I think that's where I'm going to call it in terms of gameplay for today. But I have a lot I want to talk about, so I'm going to move over to the chat room. Yeah, it's quite the twist, isn't it? So, I really do enjoy the story of Xenoblade Chronicles X. Now, I know a lot of other Xenoblade fans don't. It's one of the aspects of the game that is criticized the most. Now, yeah, it's not as twisty and turny and as focused as Xenoblade 1 and 2 are. But the difference is that they are story-driven RPGs, first and foremost. That's what they are. The main point of those games is the story. Everything, the world, the music, the gameplay in those games is in service to the story. X is the other way round. X is very much a gameplay-focused game first, and all the story really does is exist to provide context for the game and why you're doing things. And then despite that, it's still an entertaining story. But I think it did a very good job. Now, a lot of people like to say that it has no character development, it has no world building. And if you look at the main story in isolation, yes, I suppose that's true. But all of that stuff exists in the side quests. And the side quests for me are where Xenoblade X really shines. Because in the other Xenoblade games, there are some good quests. But there's one thing that really holds everything back for me. The stories of those games have a very specific objective, and they have constant forward momentum towards that objective. It doesn't make sense for them to be going back to Old Towns and doing side quests. Obviously, it's, gameplay story segregation, and every RPG does that. But it makes it hard to be immersed in those quests. With X, though, the main goal is to secure a future for humanity. Finding the Lifehold Core in the story chapters is obviously a big part of that. But every single quest connects to that main goal in a tiny little way. And everyone's based in New LA anyway. Like, their job is going around and helping people out. So it all just makes sense within the sort of broader context of the world. Plus, if you play through the side quests, you learn a lot about the world and the characters that you wouldn't otherwise. Every story character, every party member has 2 to 3 affinity missions dedicated to developing their character. And on top of that, if you play the side quests, you will encounter so many alien races and explore their cultures that you wouldn't even know about if you just did the main story. Even small things like you learn a bit more about the world, the creatures, you learn how NLA is, getting resources and stuff like that. It's the world building in the side quests in this game is fantastic. When Takahashi, the director of Monolith Soft, was doing interviews for this game, he mentioned that it was the largest lore sort of Bible he had ever written for a game. And looking at the main story in isolation, sometimes it's hard to see, how that actually happened. But with the side quests, you can see it because there's just so much. There's just so much to this game. But a lot of people, don't really give it the credit it deserves. They rush the main story, and then they just kind of moan that it's not like 1 and 2. And I feel like playing the game that way is really missing the point. Like, it's a game where you need to just delve into it and explore and have fun and just make the most of it. I really do hope this game comes to Switch. I absolutely adore it, and I think it's criminal how underappreciated it is. Plus, if it comes to Switch, it's going to increase the chances of getting a sequel, and I need a sequel. And obviously DC, he just said he wants a sequel as well. It might melt the Switch. You know, it would be very nice to see what Monolith would do with next gen. You know, that I think they have pushed this console. They have pushed the Wii U to its limits. And I would really like to see what they could do with more powerful hardware. I think that would be great. Yeah. Xenoblade Chronicles X. What a game. An epilogue story DLC would be nice. At this point, I feel like they should do something like Future Connected. If they ever port it, just add like an extra story onto the end. There's a few little areas they could focus on that don't really get much focus in the main story. Yeah, that's completely fine, Ben. Obviously, you've only just bought it, so... But, I mean, I would definitely rebuy it again. What next? I'll get to that. You think there's stuff after Xenoblade? No, it's just more Xenoblade. Anyway, so I want to go a little bit more in depth on the story and take a crack at answering some of these questions that the story presents. There's going to be no more gameplay for the rest of the stream, so if you aren't interested in theories and just story analysis stuff, feel free to head off. I won't be insulted. But yeah, for those who are staying, strap yourselves in. Full disclosure, this is a pre-recorded segment. I have a lot I want to go over, and if I tried to do this live, I would absolutely be distracted and would lose focus and mess it up. So I'm going to be neglecting chat for a little bit. But yeah, I've put a lot of work into this, so it's something I really want to talk about. I'm never going to get the opportunity to talk this much in depth about Xenoblade again, so yeah, here we go. I'll see you on the other side. Past Ben, take it away. Xenoblade X is a game with a lot of unanswered questions, and I thought it would be fun to take a crack at answering some of them and coming up with a few theories, as well as looking at how it could connect to other Xenoblade games, including Xenoblade 3. The information I'm going to be using comes from the game itself, the Japanese art book, and Xenoblade 2's DLC. I will be referencing the original script of X as well. For those who don't know what I mean, Xenoblade X was originally intended to be a much more narrative-driven game, but partway through development, a decision was made to shelve some of the story and add a large online component to the game. While things from that script were cut and aren't explicitly in the game, not all of it has been contradicted by the release game, and there are some hints to some of it, meaning we can use what we know from it to infer things about the current plot of X. This section will contain mild spoilers for Xenogears, Xenosaga, Xenoblade, and Xenoblade 2. However, I will not be touching on any massive spoilers or twists for those games. The first thing I want to look at is Elma's mysterious missing partner. Though this is more of a meta theory than a plot theory. Let's go over what we know about him. We know he and Elma were close, though the exact nature of their relationship is unconfirmed. We know he piloted the original Ares Skell, which is the purple and silver Skell we see in the opening cutscene, alongside Elma to defend the White Whale in the opening cutscene. Doug confirms this in Elma's first Affinity mission. And we know that he is missing, and Nagi at least acts as if he is dead. Some further information was actually given on him in the Xenoblade X crossover DLC in Xenoblade 2. His and Elma's relationship was more explicitly hinted to be romantic, and he comes from a place of cherry blossom trees, likely Japan. Now remember that original script I mentioned. At the time, X had a set protagonist, like 1 and 2. However, this character was replaced with a customizable avatar. However, I don't believe that this character was completely cut. I believe that he essentially lives on as Elma's partner. The original draft of X was set in Neo Tokyo rather than NLA, which lines up with Elma's partner being Japanese, and the protagonist would have piloted the Ares, which again lines up. This doesn't really have a massive bearing on the plot, it's just kind of a neat theory that makes Elma's partner the previous hero to cross in both a story and meta sense. Another quick little detail, we may have also seen a glimpse of him in one of X's earlier trailers, as a Shulk lookalike was seen in one, which lines up with the concept art of the old protagonist. As for what happened to him, it's unconfirmed, and the most boring theory is that he's simply dead. But I'd like to see him expanded on in future. Perhaps if we ever get an export, we could get a Torna/Future Connected style mini-story that follows him. One of X's most mysterious mysteries is the hooded figure who approaches Lao in the post-credits scene. His model has been ripped, and we can see it's clearly a placeholder as it's just Granada heavy armor with a hood. However, his concept art is included in the art book, and he looks awesome. Concept art for his Skell is included as well, and it looks fantastic. I am so gutted we never got to see that in game. This character is referred to as the Black Knight, and would have served the role of an almost rival-like antagonist to the main character, possibly having some big connection to him. Honestly, he reminds me a lot of Graf from Xenogears, who played a similar role in that game. Beyond that though, we know very little about him. We don't know his name, what his goal is, or what he looks like beneath the mask. I've seen a few theories about him. The first is that he is a surviving Cimmerian, which I think is pretty likely actually. The lone survivor of a precursor race going rogue is something that happens a lot in sci-fi. Another theory I've seen is that he is the Great One that the Ganglion worship. Again, this makes sense, as the next step to go after dealing with the Ganglion is their god. However, it's worth noting that the Vita is confirmed to be the Great One's Skell, and the Black Knight's Skell looks nothing like it. However, another theory I have is that the characters of the Black Knight and Elma's partner have been fused together, taking the personal connection he would have had with the old protagonist and making it a connection with Elma instead, who is essentially X's real protagonist. Gotta have those personal connections with the protagonist, plus I am a sucker for a good old Anakin Skywalker to Darth Vader style hero to villain transformation. Whoever he is, it's clear he is a very important character to the larger story of X, important enough to stick around even a little bit after most of the story got wiped. As for what he wants with Lao, I really don't know. Speaking of Lao, I have kind of a small theory to go over about him. Most of his story is wrapped up and detailed besides the cliffhanger, so there isn't much room for speculation. But I want to quickly focus on a line of his from chapter 11. He says, "Even if I killed myself, I'd just wake up in a new Mim anyway." The obvious interpretation is that he's talking about being woken up in the Lifehold core, but given the ending scene, I don't think that's the case. He knows he betrayed Blade and likely doesn't believe they would revive him, and we know from the Pizza Man on Murder Quest that Blade won't revive those who committed suicide to honour their wishes. It's also mentioned in dialogue with Lau's team that Lau got really low then suddenly found purpose again. Obviously the purpose was working with the Ganglion, but a kind of dark theory I have is that Lau did get so low that he killed himself, only to wake up on that beach with a new Mimiazome, further adding to his despair. As for how he came back to life, well, it's probably something about this planet. Another thing we know, Luxar's mind became a part of Lau. Perhaps Luxar is still in there and could cause some trouble for poor old Lau, perhaps almost acting like a second personality. We didn't really get much out of any of the Ganglion villains in X, so it would be a nice way to flesh out Luxar further. During the opening cutscene, two alien races battle over the Earth, resulting in its destruction. The first was the Samar Federation, a large interstellar federation that the Ganglion were a part of. These are the silvery ships. The other is unnamed in-game and had the more organic-looking purple ships. These aliens show up one more time to shoot down the White Whale over Mirror. Yes, it was them, not the Ganglion that did it. It's a very common misconception. And then are never seen again, whereas the Ganglion went on to become the game's main villains. According to the art book, these aliens are known as ghosts. The ghosts are biological weapons used by a faction that went to war with the Samar Federation over genetic and physical differences in their biological makeups. Each ghost contains an antimatter core that results in a devastating explosion when destroyed. In fact, we see several of these purple explosions in the opening cutscene, and they are likely what did the most damage to Earth in that battle. The ghosts are believed to be Xenoblade X's version of the Gnosis, an enemy from Xenosaga. The Gnosis are antimatter beings that don't exist in the physical plane, which have to be hit with a special weapon known as the Hilbert effect to anchor them in physical reality to be destroyed. Without getting into it too much, as Xenosaga's story is nuts, Gnosis are formed from the spirit of a person's malice and darkness, essentially making them ghosts, which is likely why X's versions are simply called ghosts. Interestingly, the ghosts are not the only Gnosis-like entity seen in the Xenoblade series. The main enemy of Future Connected is the Fog King, a non-physical entity that must be anchored in the physical reality by an ether wave so it can be destroyed. The Fog King also infects creatures with a blacky purple substance, turning them into fog beasts which mindlessly and rapidly attack any life form which aren't like themselves. Their behaviour and appearance really remind me of the Tainted from X actually. While the ghosts don't appear after the opening cutscene, they are referenced a few times. In Chapter 6, it is implied Elma knows more about the ghosts than she lets on. After seeing that the Vita is made of dark matter, she speculates if this was their handiwork, and comments on feeling the ghost of its pilot. The lyrics to Black Tar also mentions a black tar-like substance and ghosts taking over people. They were clearly going to be a very big part of the original story of X, likely taking the place of the main antagonist of the game once the Ganglion were dealt with, and it's likely that a possible sequel would heavily focus on them. I will be coming back to these guys later, but a lot of what I've established here is important to other theories. So naturally, the exact nature of Elma and what race she really is a big topic of speculation amongst fans. She is essentially the reason the game's plot can even happen, of course. I want to very quickly debunk two very common theories I see about Elma's race. The first is that she's a Samarian. The Samarians were first mentioned in the same chapter that revealed Elma's true form, and they have a big connection to humanity, so I can see how people will draw this conclusion. However, the failsafe Luxar mentions that both humanity and the Samarians had access to is within human DNA, suggesting that both humans and Samarians are genetically identical, and a post-game side quest confirms they look exactly like humans. Elma is clearly not genetically identical. She has crystals for hair, for God's sake. The second common theory is that she's Clurian. People think this as Luxar mentions that the technology used to create the Lifehold's force field is only found in the Clue system. However, we've seen a Clurian. Two in fact, Celica and Riz, and Elma looks nothing like those two. It's likely Elma just borrowed a lot of technology from various planets when coming up with her plan. She is hinted at being a bit of a technology enthusiast after all. The more likely theory, in my opinion, is that she has some kind of connection to the Ghost. She knew the attack on Earth was coming, and yet seems to know very little about the Ganglion. She doesn't recognize their name when Goetia says it in Chapter 4, only recognizing them when she physically recognizes Aquamova from the Battle of Earth. In Chapter 7, she incorrectly calls Goetia a Samarian after hearing of the Samar Federation, which she would know she isn't if she knew about the Ganglion. And she also doesn't seem to know about the Vita and the Great One, which would probably be things you'd know if you knew the Ganglion wanted to exterminate humanity. However, she seems much more knowledgeable about the Ghost, being familiar enough with their technology to notice similarities the Vita has to it. It's likely she knew about the Ghost attacking, and Samar happened to show up at a similar time. Perhaps she lost her planet to the Ghost and wanted to save Earth from that fate, or perhaps she was part of the Ghost and betrayed them. I have seen some theories claim that Elma is a villain, saving humanity for her own nefarious purposes, but I see very little evidence to back that up. The Samarians are one of the biggest mysteries of X, and are a big unanswered question raised in the final chapter of the game. We know they are the founders of the Samar Federation and created the Ganglion after arriving from another plane, but that they have seemingly disappeared with both them and their homeworld being lost. Luxar believes that humanity are the Samarians' descendants/creations, and that Mira may possibly have been their homeworld. They are essentially the standard precursor type of alien race seen in a lot of sci-fi properties. Think the Forerunners from the Halo games or the Engineers from the Alien films, and are likely involved in a lot of the backstory and mysteries of the X universe. However, there is one little detail that makes me think their connection to humanity is a little less straightforward than simply creating them. They are said to have arrived from another plane, which personally makes me think of them coming from another universe. Perhaps they didn't create humanity at all and are simply an advanced version of humanity that came from another universe. Maybe they are humanity from the future and travelled back in time, which was mistaken as coming from another plane by the Ganglion, and this is one whole big time loop. We know from Professor B, after all, that time travel exists in this universe. When it comes to Mira being their homeworld though, I think Luxar is very, very close to the truth. It might not necessarily be the planet they are from, but I think they likely resided there for a while, and are possibly responsible for a lot of the planet's quirks. As for their goals, that's hard to say, though I do have an idea about why they may have implemented the failsafe. It's hinted that the ghosts can take over people, so they may have implemented the failsafe so that they can use their own bodies as a biological weapon against any ghost-controlled creation of theirs. Regardless of what they want, they are the number one thing besides Mira itself that I want to be further explored. That said, there is an upcoming quest that will touch on them a tiny bit more. The Great One is an entity that the Ganglion worship that is mentioned quite a bit by Luxar, but is never seen in the game itself. The Vita is the Great One's mech. Despite a lot of things seeming to suggest the Great One is long dead and that the Vita has been on Mira for ages, this actually isn't the case. The Vita can be seen during the attack on Earth, suggesting that his disappearance is a more recent occurrence. The Great One is most likely Xenoblade X's version of the Demiurge. In its simplest terms, the Demiurge from Gnosticism is essentially a false god that takes the place of the real supreme god, known as the Monad, guess which name that inspired, and subjugates humanity. It is a concept that has shown up a lot throughout the Xenosagas. So the most straightforward interpretation of this is that the Great One is likely some kind of godlike entity that helped the Ganglion rebel against the Sumerians and became their god. Perhaps he is a Sumerian himself who betrayed his race for power. Perhaps he is the Black Knight. Unfortunately, beyond Luxar claiming the Great One's blood runs in his veins, there is very little information to go off of. Okay, now it's time for the big one, Mira. Unfortunately, despite the game presenting many questions about Mira, it never makes an effort to answer them. It allows different species to communicate, it keeps humanity alive when they should be dead, it even revived Lao. There is some very interesting concept art of Mira, showing these large purple cracks in the planet. I believe that the implication of this is that Mira is a patchwork planet, being made up of pieces of many different worlds. I believe Mira is essentially an ark planet, created by the Sumerians to preserve species from the universe, possibly to protect them from the Ghost. Every species that arrived there besides El and the Nopon arrived in dire circumstances. The Ganglion was swallowed by a white lighter Earth, likely getting caught in the blast of its destruction. The Manon had an engine malfunction while flying at high speed in deep space. Professor B could have nearly died in a time travel accident. And humanity's ship was shot down by the Ghost. They even mention Mira seemingly appearing out of nowhere and it not being on any star chart. Allowing different species to communicate would also help them to coexist once on the planet. Mira is also likely in some kind of bubble universe, as Luxar mentions not being able to escape the relatively small phenomenon space around the planet. Keeping it boxed off from the universe in a bubble would keep the preserved races safe. This theory is also likely why it took over from the Lifehold Core to keep humanity alive. I have seen people nearly dying before getting to Mira evidence being used to claim that Mira is some kind of purgatory or afterlife, with El's name being an anagram of Lucifer supporting this. However, I've never really believed this is true, and I'm really not a big fan of they are actually dead theories, as it kind of just kills any interesting lore or world-building possibilities. The mysteries of Mira have kept me awake during many nights, and I may just lose my mind if they are never answered. But I have hope that our answers will soon be here. Simply put, there have been a lot of things in 3's trailers that make me think of X. Back when X first came out, a very common theory was that Mira was the remains of the Bionis many years in the future. There's a lot to support this. Telethia and Nopon can be found on the planet. Tatsu mentions Frontier Village, which is the Nopon village in Xenoblade 1. Tatsu calls humans Homs, which is what humans are called on Bionis. Many collectible items reference Xenoblade 1. And the whole yearly Heropon must slay evil god thing that's going on with Tatsu's dad is likely the Nopon's bastardized legend of the events of Xenoblade 1. Heck, you can even find a Nopon replica of the Monado. But this connection was never elaborated on, and it seemed like 2 disproved the theory, meaning the references were just that, references. However, there are a lot of areas in the Xenoblade 3 trailers that look suspiciously like areas from X, particularly Oblivia. There is a desert with red plants, mechanical ruins, and floating islands. Did I describe Aegis Wildlands from 3 or Oblivia? Just take a look at these images and compare for yourself. It looks like Oblivia, just in a brighter colour palette. There are also a number of other shots from the world that remind me of places from X, or just give me X vibes. I know they are landmarks from 1 and 2, but the way they are presented definitely reminds me of X. Ionios is also a patchwork world of the worlds of Xenoblade 1 and 2, formed by them crashing together and merging. And remember, concept art suggests Mira is a patchwork planet. There are also a few shots of a strange black fog in areas that is quite hard to see. This is likely connected to the Fog Beast in Future Connected, as that game sets up Xenoblade 3. They also remind me a lot of how the Tainted Lands in X look from a distance, and I have already pointed out the similarities between the Tainted and the Fog Beasts. It's not just area shots that make me think of connections. The Ouroboros designs, while also referencing a lot of past mech designs from past Xeno games, bear a pretty big resemblance to both concept art of the Ares and the Ghost. These red armored guys, known as the Consoles, also remind me of a fusion of Graf and the Black Knight's designs. The armor is very similar, in fact. Perhaps the Black Knight is a survivor of their group. Interestingly, we also know 2 of the members' names, D and P. Single letter names. Where have I seen that before? That's right, L. A lot of their helmet designs also seem to have horns. Perhaps these aren't just for show and are to fit actual horns. Maybe L was a member of this group too. I know L has a full name, but it's possible DMP2 too, but just shortened it when they joined the consoles. My theory is that Ionios is the past of Mira, and that the nations of Kevis and Agnes will come together to become the new nation of Samar, while the Fog Beasts evolve to become the Ghost, crossing over into a new universe with their planet in tow and setting up the universe of X. Am I wrong about this? Possibly. In fact, it's pretty likely. Xeno likes to reuse plot ideas, designs, and themes a lot, so this is probably all that is. However, theorizing is fun, and I wanted to put this out there before 3 comes out. And even if I am wrong and X isn't connected, 3 looks great. I am sure I will enjoy it very much regardless of if there is a connection or not, and I am very much looking forward to it coming out. I guess I'm mainly hoping for this connection to increase the chances of getting an X2. But that's about it for now. I've rambled about X's story and theories for long enough. Yeah, I completely botched the timing on that last bit. Oh well, it's a great tune. But yeah, hopefully you guys didn't mind sitting through that too much. It's not something I usually do, but X is a bit of a special case, and because it doesn't make any effort to answer any of the questions it raised, I thought it would be kind of fun just to talk about it a bit more. I very, very rarely get an opportunity to talk about this game's story, as a lot of people haven't played it. I rant at them and they go, Ben, what the fuck are you talking about? So it was nice just to get that out of my system. But yeah, thank you for sitting through that, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I don't think I'm ever going to do anything like that again, but yeah. As for Cross's amnesia, yeah, I was expecting that to get addressed as well, but it just never does. Like, I feel like it's just an excuse to have them be customizable. Anyway, it was asked, what is next? And it's funny that you guys think we're done, because we're not done. There are quite a few quests that I left until after the final boss because their level was higher than the final boss. And on top of that, there are a number of post-game exclusive quests. I reckon it's going to take about 2 to 3 more streams to get through them all. But before I can even get started on the post-game, there is quite a bit of grinding that I want to take care of. The majority of it I can do off-stream, but there is one task that I do want to take care of on-stream because I consider it to be a very important part of X's post-game experience. So next week, I'm going to be doing a grinding stream. And yeah, that's basically it in terms of X. There's only a few weeks left. And then before that, Monday, it's going to be time for the next Minecraft stream, as it is the first Monday of the month. I'm hosting this time. I think the plan is to go to the Nether and try and get all the stuff we need from there. Hopefully, knock it all out in one stream because I hate the Nether, but I guess we'll see. But for now, yeah, I think it's time to start wrapping things up. This has been a really, really long journey, but I've enjoyed it. I just want to say thank you all, everyone, for sticking with it so far, and just ride it out for a few more weeks, and then we'll be moving on to something new. Now, I am going to leave you guys to listen to a track. It's the first track of X I heard, and it's the track that it caught my attention and made me think, you know what? I'm interested in this game. It is the final boss theme of Xenoblade Chronicles X, and one of my favorite tracks in all of gaming. The Key We've Lost. I hope you guys enjoy. Have a great weekend. Have a fantastic week. And I'll see you guys next weekend. Bye.